All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. Gonna see if its Google search, local and city Google search, has BSS, yes or no. So we're here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, which is full spectrum intent capture. More info on that, pinned video, whatever, pinned post, pinned profile, somewhere out there. And that is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. Those rising are missing some, or those rising are successfully getting all different types of people with different intent all along our intent ladder here into their business, or to know about their business at least. And those falling are, missing out on getting some cohort of these people throughout our intent ladder here. Now, the highest intent people over on the left, BSS, that's what we focus on here. If we're missing those, probably because of BSS. The lowest intent people, but the largest volume of people over on the right. That's our other brand. That's where we talk about BLCS. It's our Boudoir Facebook Ad Doctor brand. That's where we're working with Boudoir Facebook advertisers running more than 10 grand a month in Boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, we're focusing on social search, Google search, people looking for boudoir photo shoots. The highest intent people closest to the money. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, is when a boudoir photographer has 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And 0 slots on page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper, which means we're effectively invisible because the approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. So we want to hit this approximately 80% cohort. We want to get as many of them as possible. Highest chance they click on us. And that means we got to be on page 1. Page 2, we're invisible. Page 1, we got a shot. But even 1 slot on page 1 is not enough because there's 10 slots, 9 other competing boudoir photographers. Everyone's got 1 slot. We look the same as everyone else. And when we look the same as everyone else, well, we get price shopped. They go down the Google search, they literally open up every single link, contact everyone, get a quote from everyone. So we got to show up more. So that lowers the chance of them price shopping us or even knowing other competitors even exist. And 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's not normal to have that few. That's a tiny number of slots on page 1. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. First one, market saturation, basically everyone knows about. Second one, basically nobody knows about. So market saturation, more peeps. Seems like every week, get a new iPhone, get a new, basically new iPhone, turn up their Google My Business profile, got their website, saying they do boudoir photo shoots now. And, someone gets a new camera, they're posting in the mom groups that they also do boudoir photo shoots. So it's market saturation. More sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller. But this is not really the killer. The actually killer, the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses I've seen, is the false belief of page 1 equality. It's where everyone, accepts, thinks it's normal that, every boudoir photographer gets like 0 or 1 slots on page 1. And, maybe if you added 1 slot on page 1, you get kicked off to page 2. That's normal. That's how it is. And yeah, you kind of just got to take your 1 slot wherever it lands. That is 100% incorrect. And this like an implicit belief. People aren't actually thinking about this and saying, do I agree with this, yes or no? It's kind of implicit. People agree on it because there's never been a word for it for people to agree or disagree or say it's true or false. Now, I know this is false because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google in 10 days. So I already know page 1 equality, that's false. That's not even real. What actually is real is Google will give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the work to take. And we also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Because look, if we're being pushed off to page 2 and deeper, where we already know approximately 20% of people go, then, I mean, we disappear, and eventually our business, if we stay there, our business is going to disappear eventually as well. So it's kind of a canary in the coal mine. And if we only got one slot on page one, we're like the same as everyone else. We're disappearing as well. So we got our kind of before stay here. Disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. So now here we go. We got a solution. BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka our proprietary S cubed methodology. And we've been working on this for about 7 months. Finally bringing it to market. This is exactly what I used to, again, go from 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 slots, page one on Google in 10 days. And what's magical about this is it's the only thing I've seen that is able to successfully outcompete market saturation. So basically, if we use S-cubed methodology, let's say saturate social search, where the first 300 search results for a high intent keyword for someone looking for a boudoir photo shoot is us and only us. And it's same across all the social networks, no matter where they search. Those are all the same as Google as well. That's what the first 30 pages is all us. 10 organic search results per page, 30 pages of search results to consume our 300 kind of positions. Now, if we're in whatever Phoenix, Arizona, we got a million boudoir photographers total competing in that market. Everyone's got a website. Everyone's trying to rank on page one. But if we've already we've done enough S-cubed methodology to, get those first 300 slots of organic search everywhere, social and, search engine search. Who are boudoir photography buyers gonna see when they search? They're basically only gonna see us. So whose business is going to be growing? Basically only ours. They would have to go to page 31 on Google search to find anyone else. So, and that's if there are a million boudoir photographers, if we do S-cubed methodology enough. So, and if there are a million in our city. So again, S-cubed methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows us to successfully outcompete market saturation. And I got to show my results in it a little bit. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, we have page one visibility. So we no longer look like everyone else with either 0 or 1 slot. And hopefully we hit our GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots is what we want to hit. Now, an extra bonus of doing S-cubed methodology is we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making this invisible. It's the same, kick them off page one for social search, all the social networks, as well as Google. And we know on Google that approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page two. So for the bulk of the searchers, the potential buyers, the more slots we take up of page one, the more they never even see or know about our competitors existing when scrolling through Google search to see, who to click on and, whose website to fill out and contact. And that's what we care about, the 80%, approximately 80%, the bulk that's never going to page two. We want to capture as many of them as possible. So every page one link we get is a less boudoir photographer we're being compared against or, price shopped against. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So that's when we get 2 or more, hopefully, GBC minimum 3 or more, 3 out of 10 or more. Slots where we're actually being seen. We're not one slot like everyone else, looking like everyone else. People don't even notice us. I mean, they'll click on us, but we really don't capture their attention. 2, there's probably one other person that's got 2 slots anyways. We really got to hit 3 of the GBC minimum, 3 out of 10 to get this, to have this strong boudoir search visibility. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got our micro universe here. So disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is solved by is caused by market saturation and page one equality, which was the false belief of page one equality. Now we know it's false. Now we also have a solution that can solve it, our S-cubed methodology, where we achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. So my results using this S-cubed methodology for myself. I wanted to rank for the term BLCS boudoir. AI overview, didn't hit that yet. But now we go down to organic search below the Google Map Pack. We got page one, or organic slot one, IG, me. Slot two, me. Slot three, me. Slot four, me. Slot five, me. Slot six, me. Slot seven, me. Slot eight, me. Slot 10, me. So literally, dude, this took 10 days. 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 in 10 days for this keyword. And if someone's searching this, who are they going to? You think they're going to the person in slot 9, or you think they're going to click on one of mine or all of mine and see it's all me over and over and over and over and over again, and kind of just say, wow, Google keeps recommending this guy. I should probably go with this guy, even if there are other competitors. It's the sheer volume of how much they're seeing us. Be like, why is Google recommending this person so much? There must be some reason. They must be good. They must be the best in the universe. And so this result I've gotten it for myself, kind of increasing this method over the last 7 months. And after the main event here, going to see if this boudoir photography business has, we're going to see if it has BSS for its one lone Google search here. Looks like we combined local and city. Search for this one. All right. All right. So here we go. Goshen, Indiana. All right. They got one slot, two slots. All right. 2 out of 10 slots. All right. So BSS is not present, but they did not hit the recommended minimum of the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 Google page one slots. But hey, at least I don't have BSS. That's kind of the first thing we got to solve. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done the your local searches, your city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, and you saw you either had 0, 1 slots on Google page one for at least one of those searches, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search for at least one of those searches, and you've accepted the false belief of page one equality is exactly that, a false belief. So now you can, you freed your mind to actually look for a solution to take as many slots Google page one as possible, and you're realizing, wow, S-cubed methodology, perfect. That's the only solution for me. It's exactly what I've been waiting for. You're liking the initial benefits, more slots page one Google search. You actually doubly like the second initial benefit, kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, making them invisible to approximately 8% of the market by putting them on page two or deeper. And you're also looking ahead because you understand market saturation. You're like, wait, AI is taking more peeps jobs right now. Last time that happened with COVID, tons of new boudoir photographers entered the market. So you're already understanding way more boudoir photographers going to be entering the market as AI gets better and better, takes more and more people's jobs. And you're realizing that you not only need these slots, you got to fortify your position on page one by having actually so many links that Google wants to rank on page one, but you've already taken up so many slots that Google actually starts putting your page one worthy links and filling up page two, three, and four, because you realize you actually need to essentially prevent all your other competing boudoir photographers currently in your city from ever ranking on page one, and definitely prevent any of the future boudoir photographers that come after AI takes their jobs from ever ranking on page one. So you realize, and you actually got to fortify your position there. And as a result, you're saying, okay, how do I get so many links in a short time frame to actually achieve this? And you realize, okay, S-cubed methodology is the only solution to do that. You also understand S-cubed methodology is building up basically these invisible thematic keyword columns, plugged in, attached to your brand, and kind of like in the back end, cyberspace and the internet, attached to your brand name, business name, website name, your personal name, all your social handles, and there's a big cloud of who you are. And we're building up this like back end AI keyword mindshare, all plugged into this, cloud of your brand and who you are. And every day we build up, add more and more columns, fortify, build those columns out. It actually increases the probability we are recommended here as the one premium option for AI overview and search which is the most premium placement, and we cannot buy this with ads. And you also understand in parallel to increase the probability that the chat, the AI search apps, AI chat apps actually increase the probability you recommended there too. ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot. You understand that? Okay, higher chance you'll be recommended there. Last time I searched for a boudoir photographer in a city, there's a ChatGPT recommended me 3. I then went and did manual searches on Google and Facebook, and I found about 60 of them. So we definitely need any possible way to get recommended this AI search. And what we found is the highest probability solution that provides that is, again, SQ methodology, because it's building up these invisible thematic keyword columns. And so you're liking all those feature benefits. You're also liking future benefit of SQ methodology can help you build a large, well-known brand approximately 8x faster than traditional methods. That's a cool feature benefit as well. And you understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you actually like that you can get all these benefits and prevent all your competitors from getting these benefits, enabling you to build up kind of this large, massive back end, this large gap in links that are out there that Google wants to rank on page 1, and also these future kind of this back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum for all these AI chat systems and AI overview recommendations. And you've decided because of that, you're going to be the first mover, first one in your city to adopt this, because you understand the converse. If one of your competitors were to sign on with me first, they would actually get these benefits. They begin all these links and backup links throughout page 1, 2, 3, 4. They would be kicking you off page 1 to page 2 or deeper, making you invisible to approximately 80% of the market. They'd be, basically building up this back-end AI keyword mindshare, massive gap between me and your competitor and you. And so for you to compete, you would actually have to increase, or first you'd have to rederive SQ methodology. Well, actually derive it for the first time. And once you did that, you would then have to actually execute it every day, equal to us. And if you did that, then you're simply maintaining the gap because we're executing every day as well. So the gap is remaining the same. And so for you to actually make any progress, you'd have to double or triple our output to then start pulling that, back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum away from me and your competitor, back to yourself. And again, you would never be 100% confident you've even derived the system correctly in the first place. And so it would hard to be even put in the effort to outwork us 2 to 3x. And after all that, you're realizing, screw that. I ain't got 80 hours to do all this, worry about all this stuff, 80 hours per day. So you decide you're simply going to be a first mover in your city and just not miss out on this opportunity, and simply, simply go first so you don't miss out. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. The hospital is currently closed for new patient intake, so DMs are currently closed, so you cannot work with us even if you wanted to. But when the hospital does open for new patient intake, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S-cubed methodology.